had an important recital taking place, and one of my teachers, who has had a huge impact on my training, confirmed they would come. I was thrilled. It started raining that day, and a few hours before the event started, they texted and said they weren't going to be able to make it. He was the only person out of 30 confirmed guests that didn't make it, and it really bummed me out. Should I say something? There's so many different dynamics here. I don't know your relationship with this person, but I would say give them the benefit of the doubt. We don't know what's going on for everyone else. It could be that they really wanted to be there and they said yes, even knowing that their own life and plate was full. And that rain just tipped them over the edge and they just said, I got to use this as an excuse, as an out, because maybe they didn't set their own boundaries earlier because of their love for you. So instead of sort of seeing it as, hey, you didn't, and I'm not saying you did this, but I'm just kind of getting a little feeling here that if you're feeling like, hey, did they not love me enough? Did they not care enough? Did they not, enough, that it might actually be the opposite. It might be that they care about you so much that they said yes when they really needed to say no. And that creates a little bit of a rub when we're disappointed and the emotions are high and we really wanted them there. And so it doesn't dissipate that. But I would say, yeah, you can call them and you can say, hey, I was so bummed that you weren't there. You were really missed. But I think when you can do it from a more neutral place and not from a place of like disappointment, then that guilt doesn't come through and it doesn't feel like you're trying to, guilt them about not showing up for you. But it's more about just coming from that loving place of, hey, I just wanted to touch base. I wanted to see, what was happening for you and what was going on in your life, because I was so bummed that you weren't there. So it's also about that tone in your voice and the place that you come from that's, more from that neutral state, that more wholehearted state of, I get you, I'm sure there's a reason. And if they don't have a good reason and you feel crappier at the end of it, at least you've been able to say and speak your piece. But just remember that not everyone is that great at actually saying what's going on for them or how they feel, or, even taking feedback from people. Like when you have disappointed someone, sometimes they really can't hear that from you because it makes them feel terribly uncomfortable. And they say and do things that are off from how they actually feel. They just don't know how. They don't know how to respond. They don't know how to be present for you and witness the disappointment that they caused. And it doesn't often mean that it has anything to do with you. It has more to do with them and more to do with what's going on in their life. So just, be a little bit careful with that. But do speak your feelings. Just find that neutral place and space to do it so that it doesn't come across as a guilt trip on them. Today, as always, I so appreciate all of the questions. I love answering them. I love hearing your comments. I love just really getting a pulse on the collective, right? Because a lot of these have themes to them that are running through as we go along. And you're going to find more resources if you go over to bethbell.me. There's the Awakening and Healing Handbook. There's the Psychedelics Resource Guide. There's the Herpes Handbook and so much more. And we're launching quite a few things. So if you have a question, please type it in the comments, or we've got a new form now where you can type in bethbell.me/questions and it's confidential. And we'll answer your questions in the coming weeks. So I appreciate you being here. Until next week, I wish you much bliss and love on the journey.